Hello, today I'll be informing you about the effects of mental illness in children and young adolescents. By raise of hand, how many of you know a child or adolescent that's suffering from mental illness? I have a family member that suffers from mental illness and I know how difficult these effects could be. This is a very important topic because according to World Health Organization article published in 2017, they recorded that 10 to 20% of children suffer from mental illness. First, I'll be informing you about the effect of mental illness to children's academics, and then secondly, I'll talk about the stigmatization of children that suffer from mental illness. First, let's talk about the effect of mental illness to children's academics. Mental illness changes over time as a child develops. It affects their ability to speak, to learn, to focus, to concentrate, and to control their emotions and actions. According to an article published by Julia Scott in 2017, she recorded that the onset of mental illness starts from young age, late teen and early adolescence. Schizophrenia, bipolar, depression, psychosis, all this comes in under the same window and develops over time. The effect of mental illness develops slowly as a child grows. Due to these difficulties, children that suffer from mental illness are restricted from achieving their goals in school. According to the Jenny Gold's article in 2016, she recorded that school has been difficult for 1 in 5 children that suffer from mental illness. They have severe anxiety, they have difficulty focusing, and they have social challenges. It is really hard for a child that have all these uncontrollable emotions to understand what a teacher is talking about. And in the long run, with all these emotions, these children have no choice than to drop out of school. Now that we have discussed about the effect of mental illness to children's academics, I'll move forward to the next topic, which is stigmatization. Adolescents with mental health are highly stigmatized these days. According to a Rachel article that she published in 2018, she recorded that adolescents that disclosed their mental issues to their friends were stigmatized by their peers, by their teacher, and by the school staff. Stigmatizing a child with mental illness will only make them self-isolate, and this process makes their situation even worse. It is very disturbing to know what children that suffer from mental illness had to endure due to unawareness of what mental effects are. This is very important why people should be informed about the effects of mental illness. The rise of social media with the rise of social media these days, a mentally challenged teenager that have access to a cell phone or other internet devices are exposed to online stigmatization. According to the Bethel article in 2019, which he titled A Systematic Review, the Influence of Social Media on Depression, Anxiety, Psychology, and Adolescents. He states that social media could be seen as a double-edged sword. A mentally ill teenager who has an access to a cell phone and who has been stigmatized in public could only self-isolate him or herself and have their phone, and could also be called crazy online. In review, let's go through all the topics we discussed today. First, we talked about the effect of mental health to children academics, and secondly, I discussed about the effect of mental health stigmatization of children that suffer from mental health. Mental disease is a very difficult sickness. It disturbs a child, it pulls down their emotions, it controls their reactions, and it obstructs everything that their life have for them. It is very important for everybody to know the effect of mental health in children. And I hope by listening to me today, you've learned a little bit more about the effect of mental health. And thank you for your time, and thank you for listening. And I hope that you learned a little bit more about what mental health affects, how dangerous it is to children. Thank you.